What if Michael Jackson knew exactly what happened to Princess Diana? And what if the same forces he feared were the same forces he believed silenced her? A chilling leaked phone call captures the King of Pop in a state of absolute terror. His voice trembles. He whispers about powerful people, about secrets the public was never supposed to hear, and about his friend Princess Diana, a woman he says was dangerously close to exposing her husband Prince Charles as a member of an elite paedophile ring before her sudden death. Now, decades later, this recording has reignited one of the darkest conspiracy theories surrounding fame, power, and the hidden machinery operating behind the entertainment industry. Because, according to Michael, once you know too much, they don't let you out alive. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. What do Princess Diana, Michael Jackson, and Charlie Kirk have in common? They were all killed just as they started to turn, and before they could expose everything.
She said, I want to talk to you. So I said, yeah, what's happening? She said, are you going to do Dirty Diana tonight? I said, no, I took it out of the show, out of respect for you. She said, that's my favorite song. I said, are you serious? I said, I took it out of respect because Dirty Diana, you're in the audience. So at that point, I couldn't put it back in the show because it was too close to showtime. So I remember Prince Charles leaving the line, walking over to us, and he said, what are you talking about? And she said, oh, nothing, like that.
Why was Charles so paranoid about what Diana was saying to Michael Jackson? Because he knew Diana and Michael were fighting the same cause. And Charles knew his own crimes were in danger of being exposed to the world. At this point, Diana was preparing to go public, exposing Israel's crimes against humanity and blackmail operations. The same move that cost Charlie Kirk his life nearly 30 years later. But Diana dug deeper. Epstein Files documents confirm she had information about the elite paedophile ring, with smoking gun proof about the royal family's involvement. Diana had the dirt on their bloodline horrors, crimes against children, blood sacrifices, and cannibalism. She knew they're nothing more than predators protected by Crown's titles and Mossad Black Ops. So they silenced her by staging a crash in a Parisian tunnel, with blinding lights and greased brakes. According to Michael, Diana's death wasn't just a tragedy, it was a message. A carefully orchestrated warning designed to show what happens to anybody who dares challenge the invisible empire operating behind power, royalty, and celebrity.
Oh, that was that story. There's a couple of other ones, but I don't want to, say too much. She was just a wonderful, warm, compassionate person. Very caring, very caring. It was real. It wasn't publicity.
Michael lost a friend. He also lost a fellow warrior in the war against the elite paedophile ring. And when you hear the brutal stomach-churning truth straight from his own mouth, you'll understand why they had to move against Diana so fast and so brutally. Princess Diana's death was never a simple tragedy, and the consequences are playing out to this day. The disgraced Prince Andrew was arrested on his 66th birthday, exactly 666 days after a white horse soaked with blood escaped the royals and bolted through central London. In occult symbolism, where 666 represents the beast, and white horses are tied to death, conquest, and apocalypse, the pattern feels far too deliberate to be written off as coincidence. The royals always choose occult dates for their darkest rituals and sacrifices. Symbolism is part of their religion. Meet Annie Macon, ex-MI5 whistleblower, who blew the lid off Diana's accident. Macon revealed Diana was taken out by intelligence services, in partnership with Israel and the Satanic Cabal, via a massive white strobe light flashed in the tunnel to blind the driver.
The rest of it, and I have to say, my personal opinion, I think, yes, they did intend to at least seriously injure or kill her. And it's not just about the fact that, was she pregnant, wasn't she? We'll never know because they embalmed her against all French law so quickly. And all the other speculative things you see in the press. It's also the fact that it was reported that she was being a great success in the landmine campaign that she was running. Yes. But also, she was about to go into campaigning on the behalf of the Palestinians. Now, you can imagine someone of Princess Diana's profile doing that. They would not have tolerated it. They could not have dealt with that. So I think that's why she was taken out.
Did you know that on the night of Princess Diana's fatal car crash, every CCTV camera along the route her car took was pointed away from the road as she passed? From the Ritz Hotel to the tunnel, A total of 17 CCTV cameras failed to record the princess on her fateful journey. It was a blood sacrifice in front of the entire world, and royal insiders have long known the truth. So did Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson enraged his masters at Sony and put a target on his back when he wrote the song Don't Cry Palestine. This is the moment the Zionist mafia in control of the music industry marked him for destruction. Because when a public figure with millions of fans begins lifting the veil on who's pulling the puppet strings, these people don't argue with them, they don't debate them, they smear them, and they destroy their reputation. Finally, they erase them. Michael knew exactly who was destroying his career with false allegations of the most heinous kind, and who was coming for his life.
Michael Jackson arrived at the location of his music video under an umbrella to protect him from his son and with 2 children by his side. He was in Brazil to shoot the music video for his song, They Don't Care About Us. Last year, he angered Jewish groups when he sang these words. Michael then gave in to pressure and changed the song. But in Brazil, the controversial lyrics were back, and he sang it this way. We showed footage of the video shoot to Rabbi Marvin Heyer, an activist for Jewish causes, who was outraged because last June, Jackson sent him a letter of apology for singing those lyrics.
I'm shocked. Jew me, sue me, kick me, kike me. Those are the words that he told us that he would never use again.
When you hear the phone call leaked by Michael production staff, you'll understand why he was prepared to go back on his word and reuse the fateful lyrics. You'll also understand why the elite have been desperate to suppress Michael Jackson's phone calls for years. They exposed that Michael knew there was a group above the government. A group that was engaged in evil of the most pure, understood kind. Evil against children. We've got the breaking bombshell after this important word from our sponsor. The team behind the Michael biopic wanted to confront the most controversial chapter of his life head-on. The accusations, the media frenzy, the destruction of his reputation. But studio executives shut it down immediately. Too dangerous. Too politically sensitive. Leave it alone. Production staff were furious. They believed they had signed on to an honest, uncompromising portrait of the biggest star on earth. Not a carefully managed corporate product designed to protect powerful institutions. And the deeper they dug into Michael's final years, the more they began to suspect there were forces far bigger than Hollywood shaping the story behind the scenes. That is why the leaked phone calls surfaced at all.
No, you don't understand. These people, they don't go away. They never stop. Not ever. Diana knew that. She was sweet, very sweet, sensitive. She still had goodness in her heart. That's dangerous to people like them, because they don't have hearts. They only have secrets. Diana saw too much. She saw that her husband wasn't who everybody thought he was. He knew he was doing terrible things to children. Terrible things. You know, they drink their blood. It's too much. It's just too sad. Diana was disgusted by Charles. And she was scared. I know that fear, because they do the same thing to me. The phone calls late at night, people following you, people pretending to be your friend just to learn your secrets. They want control over everybody. That's how their world works. And if they can't control you, they punish you. They make the whole world turn against you. Then they kill you. That's what hurts the most. Not the newspapers or the accusations. It's watching people believe lies about you because the machine is so big, so powerful. Diana, she knew they were going to kill her. She told me, and I didn't tell anyone. Now I'm all alone.
Princess Diana wasn't the only celebrity friend to defend Michael's reputation. Macaulay Culkin says that Michael was actively protecting child stars from Hollywood predators and the elite paedophile ring. He was actively destroying Israel's blackmail apparatus. That's why they framed Michael with the very crimes they themselves were committing against children.
Was somebody saying that he was trying to protect the kids?
Somebody. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, all right. So
Somebody.
a name.
He gave an interview stating that Michael Jackson once intervened, discouraging him from boarding a flight to an island later associated with Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't say it's Little St. James Island, but it's an island later associated with Epstein. And they presumed that Michael Jackson may have stepped in to help other kids not go to that island. But it was that one statement from Macaulay Culkin. That's pretty much it.
Right. So again, I knew it was somewhat
Yeah.
reputable, but I mean,
So was Michael Jackson helping the kids? Was Michael Jackson trying to prevent Epstein from doing what he was doing.
I'll never forget that. Michael Jackson saved me from getting on a plane to that tiny island.
By the time Michael understood the darkness surrounding figures like Jeffrey Epstein and Rabbi Shmuley, he was no longer the same man. He was exhausted. He could barely find the strength to go on living, broken by what he had seen behind the curtain. The disturbing part is that this wasn't the first leaked phone call revealing Michael's state of mind before his death. Michael sounded like a man waiting for the inevitable, isolated, terrified, while dangerous people were closing in around him, and the media kept the public distracted and confused.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you with drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do this?
It's not the government. It's more than the government.
You know who else knew they were going to die the night before it happened? That's right, Princess Diana. Before the tunnel crash, Diana wrote a note expressing fears that powerful people wanted her out of the way and warning that a staged car accident could be used against her. Then there was this interview.
Do you think you'll ever be queen?
No, I don't. No.
Why do you think that?
I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts, in people's hearts. But I don't see myself being queen of this country. I don't think many people would want me to be queen. Actually, when I say many people, I mean the establishment that I'm married into. Because they've decided that I'm a non-starter.
You mean within the royal household?
Mm-hmm. They see me as a threat of some kind.
After her death, those words stopped sounding paranoid and started sounding prophetic. And you know who else knew he was going to die the night before his neck was blown out in another ritual sacrifice? You got it, Charlie Kirk.
The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, you know, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
Who are they? Let's put this into perspective. Jeffrey Epstein's youngest victim still had his umbilical cord attached. Regardless of your political opinions, we now have enough evidence to prove without doubt that the left and right are ruled by the same psychopathic predators. They feed on fetuses, still babies, deceive children, exploiting them all to their disgusting liking. One thing is for sure, we're definitely not angry enough. Everything we're dropping here is the kind of material that gets hard drives wiped, servers torched, and people suicided before breakfast. If you're doing your own research and digging into dangerous topics like this online, you need to be protected. Legacy VPNs? Cancel your subscription. Proton is a privacy company literally funded by the World Economic Forum and the European Union. That tells you everything you need to know. As for ExpressVPN, Nord, Surfshark, they all keep logs, they all cave to warrants. They're all headquartered in 5949 countries. That will hand your IP over faster than you can blink. You need something that cannot betray you. That's VP.net, the world's first trustless VPN. No central servers they can raid, no logs they can seize because there's nothing to seize. It runs on blockchain nodes, spread across thousands of independent operators. Even if the entire US government demands your data, even if they put a gun to their head, there's nothing to hand over. It's mathematically impossible to de-anonymize you. Do it now before you dig any deeper. Go to vp.net/TPV. No logs, no backdoors. It's the world's first subpoena-proof VPN. vp.net/TPV. One click and you're gone. Smart people are already there. See you on the other side.